Or ABC 10 News at 5 starts right now.
High-powered explosive missing, possibly stolen from a Southern California military base. In a Team 10 exclusive, we're going to look into the steps being taken to make sure they are recovered. Plus, two major healthcare providers taking over California's vaccine rollout. How that new partnership will help increase distribution. And an experiment helping restaurant workers make ends meet. In a story that is positively San Diego, we're going to show you how an old trend helped soften the blow of the recent shutdown order.
ABC 10 News at 5 starts now.
And good evening. I'm Steve Atkinson. I am joined remotely by my co-anchor Lindsay Pena. We're going to be checking in with her shortly. But first, we have more on that breaking news from Claremont, where a massive search for a gunman near a church and preschool has just been called off within the last 5 minutes. The scene unfolded on Claremont Mesa Boulevard about 2 hours ago after police received reports of someone being shot in the area. Our ABC 10 News reporter Anthony Pura is joining us from the scene with the breaking details. Anthony.
That's right. Officers briefed us on this just shortly before we went on air, telling us that the search for that possible second suspect has been called off. Now, they can't say for sure that there is no second suspect, but they're just calling off the search based on the information they have right now. So behind me, you can see that the scene is starting to wind down a little bit, and they said that they will shortly start to unwind the scene here in the next few minutes, and they're going to start to reopen the area. But I wanted to show you what this looked like when this all started. This started a little before 2 p.m. after someone was shot. Sky 10 flew over the area shortly after that police response. Now, police say they found the victim. He's been sent to the hospital and he is undergoing surgery. Now, some witnesses told police that the victim was with two men and they believed that they were armed. Police located one person with a gun and took that person into custody. But officers then realized that there was a preschool in the area with kids. Police say there were about 12 kids at North Minster Preschool. That's when they called in SWAT to secure the area. Now, kids were taken to nearby Claremont Lutheran Church where they can be picked up. And again, all the kids are safe at this point. And again, we're back out here live, and I can tell you that police have told us that they are calling off the search for the second suspect and that this scene will start to unwind here momentarily. We're reporting live, Anthony Pura, ABC 10 News.
Kids are safe. That is the key. Anthony, thank you. Now to high-powered explosives missing, possibly stolen from a Southern California military base. Team 10 exclusively broke this story today after sources confirmed that 10 pounds did disappear during a training exercise at 29 Palms. Our investigative reporter Jennifer Kastner is joining us now with the steps being taken to find those explosives. Jen.
Yeah, Steve, that's right. We are talking about 10 pounds of C4. That is a very powerful explosive that is used by the Marines. Tonight, the military is not giving out any details about what may have happened on base. Behind the front entry of this Southern California military base, an investigation is underway after high-power explosives disappeared during a training exercise, according to multiple sources with close military ties. The images on screen are from a separate training exercise on the 29 Palms Marine Base in 2016. They are not from this new incident. Sources confirm that 2 weeks ago, about 10 pounds of C4 vanished during a new training exercise, and it's believed that the explosives may have been stolen.
It's a huge problem.
Thursday, ABC 10 News spoke to retired Captain Kelly Mayer, a former bomb technician and firefighter with 23 years of experience. He said that C4, pictured here from a training event 4 years ago, requires military blasting caps to detonate, and once it does, it moves very quickly, 30,000 feet per second.
It is the most powerful explosive that there is. All explosives are measured against TNT, and C4 is right there with TNT.
Even 1 pound could destroy a vehicle, he added. 10 pounds spaced out or detonated together could cause substantial damage.
It could demolish a house, say a single-family residence. You could blow the roof off of a house. You could blow walls out from it.
Sources confirm that the commanding officer of the unit sent out a message to all subordinate commands about a monetary reward for any information leading to the discovery of the C4. The base would not confirm the details in our story, but sent a brief statement reading in part, "The ongoing investigation into this incident is being handled by NCIS and the affected units." And NCIS said that it will not provide any comment on open investigations. Reporting live tonight, Jennifer Kastner, ABC 10 News.
Now to the latest on California's COVID-19 rollout. The state is now partnering with 2 healthcare providers to speed up distribution of the vaccine. The move comes after growing frustration with how the rollout's been handled. ABC 10 News reporter Adam Rakusin asked what type of impact this will have as we try to rebound.
Across the state, a mass vaccination effort is well underway. Depending on who you talk to, there are a lot of varying opinions on how it's going.
The way they're out running this right here is really good.
The worst thing for me is sitting with my iPad for 3 hours and trying to get on, because by the time I'm off, I'm crying.
As of Wednesday, the state says the CDC reports about 5.7 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine have been delivered to entities within California. They say providers have reported administering more than 3.5 million vaccine doses statewide. That's about 63%. But not everyone who wants the vaccine is getting it, and mounting frustration has led to changes in how the distribution is run. California announcing new partners to help with this massive effort.
Everybody came together looking at what's working, what's not working, and we identified 2 partners, in particular 2 nonprofits, Kaiser and Blue Shield, both offering unique experience.
According to the California Department of Public Health, the state tapped Blue Shield and Kaiser to build the statewide vaccine delivery network focused on equity and efficiency. While the exact details are still being worked out, Blue Shield says its role will be to help maximize the speed at which vaccinations are made available across California, among other things. The state says Kaiser will secure, plan, organize, stand up, and oversee 2 more mass vaccination sites and other efforts to vaccinate hard-to-reach, disproportionately impacted populations. According to the state, Blue Shield and Kaiser will perform the work at or near cost, and neither will profit from the agreement.
They have the kind of scale, they have the capacity, they have the allocation distribution mindset that we were looking for.
So, how will the state's upcoming move impact local counties and distribution? It's still unknown. We asked health departments in Kern, San Luis Obispo, and San Diego counties. Those who responded said they don't have enough details yet. They're waiting for more information on what potential impact this may have to the current structure. While most have ramped up for mass distribution, there's still more demand than supply.
We have tripled the number of daily vaccines that we have administered in the state just in the last few weeks. While that's good, it's not good enough.
Adam Rakusin, ABC 10 News.
The state says more details about Kaiser and Blue Shield's roles should be released in the next few weeks. On a milestone vaccination at Petco Park, the county revealed that the 100,000th person to get vaccinated at the first superstation got their shot last night. UC San Diego is running that site. They've been averaging about 5,000 vaccinations every day. And we know there are a lot of questions and different experiences with the vaccine rollout. Our ABC 10 News in-depth team is committed to tracking down answers and sharing your stories. Just send us an email to tips@10news.com.
How many people have to die before people start taking this thing seriously?
Some San Diego Unified teachers are worried about returning to school even after the CDC announced that schools can reopen safely without having teachers to be vaccinated. Our ABC 10 News reporter Rena Nakano shows us why some classrooms could still be at higher risk.
And they would love to be back on campus because we realize this is not the best way to do the job.
5th grade teacher Casey Hickenbottom says he would love nothing more than to teach his kids in person again. But right now, he says his community just isn't ready.
In my room alone, 2 families that COVID ran roughshod over, the entire family.
He teaches at Johnson Elementary, where 100% of students get free or reduced lunches. Their parents, almost all essential workers, are at high risk of COVID exposure.
They're out at work every day. I mean, quarantining is a luxury they don't have.
Wednesday, the CDC director said that teachers do not have to be vaccinated in order to safely reopen schools. But president of the San Diego Unified School District Board, Richard Barrera, says he wants teachers and essential school workers to be prioritized for vaccinations at places like the Petco Superstation.
We would like to see some dedicated lanes, for teachers to be able to get appointments, go through, get vaccinated.
But Supervisor Nathan Fletcher says that will not happen.
We do not believe it would make sense to take a senior out of line and replace that senior with a young and healthy worker.
Even if teachers were vaccinated right now, it will take 6 weeks until the vaccine's efficacy reaches its peak. And by that time, there will only be a little more than 1 month left in the school year. Barrera says it's still worth it.
Every day we can get back is a positive day.
Hickenbottom says he'd gladly get the vaccine. Even so, he knows school won't be the same as before the pandemic.
It doesn't seem worth the risk to me. And that's coming from somebody who would love to be back in the classroom.
Rena Nakano, ABC 10 News.
State lawmakers are introducing more than half a dozen bills to reform the Employment Development Department, which they say botched unemployment claims during the pandemic. ABC 10 News reporter John Horn explains that the fixes are coming too little too late for millions of Californians.
I felt nervous. I just didn't even think I was going to get anything.
Jacob Nikos called the EDD nearly 15 times in one day before he got through to anyone who could verify his identity and restart his payments. At the time, his bank account was in the negative.
I should have savings, trust me, but when you've been off for 8 months, you kind of don't have one of those.
Nikos is now back to work at 5 days a week at Epic Brewing, but the issues at the EDD persist. That's why state lawmakers introduced 7 bills to try to reform the agency. The bills would allow claimants to bypass Bank of America and get their money direct deposited, create an oversight board, a claimant advocate office, expand language options, protect against fraud, and create more safety nets.
The most important thing is that our constituents have money to be able to pay the rent, to be able to put food on the table, to be able to live during these very challenging times.
The package comes in the wake of a scathing audit that showed the EDD sent $800 million in fraudulent benefits to 45,000 incarcerated individuals and coordinated with Bank of America to freeze 344,000 accounts with no plan to assist legitimate claims.
I've had to borrow money from my family and friends, luckily, to keep my rent, keep my car in front of my house.
2 legislators are also prioritizing $55 million in this year's budget proposal to expand state and local fraud investigations. John Horn, ABC 10 News.
And we reached out to the EDD and are still waiting to hear back. In a statement, Bank of America says it supports the direct deposit option and is working with the state to prevent fraud and ensure the correct claimants get their money. Well, President Biden says there is room for some compromise with Republicans on a new economic stimulus plan. But he's also signaling that Democrats may have to move forward if Republicans refuse to budge. The president says they have a public mandate to, quote, go big on relief for the American people. He suggested that he may be willing to go along with a Republican request to limit direct checks to people with a lower income than previous plans. But President Biden said he won't start his administration by breaking a promise to the American people.
In the last 90 minutes, the House voted to kick controversial Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene off her committee assignments. Greene is a first-term Republican from Georgia, but she made national headlines for her belief in conspiracy theories. That includes QAnon, her accusation that California wildfires were started by a Jewish-controlled space laser, and that the Parkland school shooting was fake. 11 Republicans voted with every Democrat to remove Greene. Republican leader Kevin McCarthy says the vote undermines unity in the House. Lawyers for former President Donald Trump say he will refuse to testify in his impeachment trial. Today, the House manager sent a letter calling on Trump to speak under oath. He is accused of helping to incite last month's violent attack on the Capitol. Trump advisors say he won't testify because he believes the impeachment is unconstitutional. The House managers have not said if they will formally subpoena Trump to try to force his testimony.